Blockminers is a cooperative deck building board game. You play as a group of hackers in a cyberpunk future, and your goal is to infiltrate the bank CapitAll. If you run out of money to pay rent, you lose. Now I'm going to show you how to play. Once you have completed setup, as it says in the rulebook, it's time for all players to pick a character. The difference between the characters is just their stats. Their starting decks are the same. Once all players have picked a character card, they take the game piece with the matching color and put it on employed on CapitAll. CapitAll is the bank the players are trying to infiltrate. As soon as a player becomes the CEO of CapitAll, all players win the game. Then, looking at the top left of their character cards, all players put their starting money in the money area of the basement card. This is where players keep track of their shared funds. And this is also where players keep track of the rent, which starts at the same as the number of players. The game is now played in days, and each day has 3 phases: the start of day, the work day, and the end of day. Start of day is where players draw cards, work day is where players play cards, and end of day is where players pay rent. If players cannot pay rent, they lose the game. At the start of day phase, all players draw an encounter card. Players then decide if they want to go to the office, which is signaled by drawing from their office deck, or going to the basement, which is signaled by drawing from their basement deck. Players draw as many cards as they have will. The start of day phase is now completed. Players now take turns to play cards from their deck. Adriana first plays Bare Minimum Work. This card adds 1 money. Now it's John J2's turn. He plays Block Reward. Block rewards adds 2 blocks, but John must draw an encounter card. It is now Satoru Shinak's turn. Satoru Shinak plays Browse the Dark Web. Doing so, Satoru gets to look at the top 6 cards from the Dark Web deck, as he has 6 mind. He gets to pick one he wants to add to either of his decks, puts it on top, and puts the rest of the card in the Dark Web archives. It is now Adriana's turn. Adriana plays Infiltrate. She gets to draw 1 encounter card, and then she looks at the voice check above her current infiltration level. It says voice 10. So Adriana rolls 2 dice. She rolls 4 plus her voice, which is 6, which is 10 or higher. This means Adriana completes the check and she gets to promote. Now it is John J2's turn. One of the encounter cards he drew was Important Meeting, which says if you have played a basement card today, you are demoted. If John would play this card, he would get demoted to unemployed. However, John instead plays Surveil, which allows him to distract one. This means that he can give his encounter card to another player. He gives his encounter card to Adriana, who has not played any basement card. She has only played office cards, so for her, the encounter card does nothing. It is now Satoru's turn. Satoru plays an encounter card, which says a note on the door, you are demoted. However, the encounter card has a check in the top left corner. It is a mind 8 check. So Satoru rolls. He rolls 8. He adds his mind, which is 6. That adds up to 14. This is equal to 8 or higher. This means Satoru completes the check and the encounter card does nothing. It is now Adriana's turn. Adriana plays a convincing presentation. This allows Adriana to escape an encounter card. It is now John J2's turn. John J2 plays another block reward to add 2 blocks and draw 1 encounter card. It is now Satoru's turn, and Satoru plays transfer. When he plays transfer, he has to draw 2 encounter cards, but he gets to turn any number of blocks into money. Satoru decides to turn all blocks into money. Players keep playing until all their cards are played. All encounter cards must be played. If a player is holding no encounter cards, however, they may fold their hand. At the end of the day, when all cards are played, cards go back into their respective discard piles. So all encounter cards go back to the encounter card archives, and all dark web cards go back into the respective player's personal discard piles. And then rent is paid. Finally, the go first token passes to the next player, and this continues until either a player reaches the CO, at which point the game ends immediately, or if the players as a group cannot pay rent, in which case they immediately lose. If you want to buy a copy of the game, it's available on blockminers.net. There you can also download the rulebook and you can join the Discord server. On the Discord server we say when we're going to meet up to play the game, if you want to come try out the game. I hope you'll have an exciting time playing Blockminers.